Hi guys, Ray here from City Fan TV. Hope you're all doing very well indeed. I'm still doing videos indoors today because weather's not great outside. But I want to start off once again by thanking all you new subscribers and you old ones for coming back to the channel. We've done fantastic in the last month. The subscriber numbers have gone up by 45%. Surely one of the fastest growing City YouTube channels out there. And I've got to once again thank the people who've helped make that happen, which people like Bernard Deneen from the Citizen channel, Mike Long, who is Bolt from the Blue, and Colin Savage, Press Rich Blue on Twitter, who is our finance expert. And obviously, you, the subscribers who have subscribed, some of you a year ago or even longer, and some of you who are new to the channel. And if you are watching this for the first time and haven't subscribed, hey, why not? Go ahead. Give us a subscribe and help us to creep past 2,000 subscribers before the season starts. Today, we're going to talk about Jeremy Doku. Okay, now, he's a name that's cropped up over the last few days because he's a winger. Okay, and City are being linked with wingers since Riyad Mahrez went off to the promised land. Well, the land of plenty of money, and not milk and honey money, but plenty of money, probably, I think somewhere in the region of £25 million a year. So Riyad Mahrez, probably, he's always wanted to play in the Saudi League, so he's gone. And City have been linked with lots and lots of midfielders. And the thing is, Riyad Mahrez was a pretty good talent, and to replace him is going to be difficult, and there are not many really good wingers out there that are available at the right price, I believe. And maybe that's why Jeremy Doku's name has cropped up and he's been mentioned. And so I thought I'd have a look at him now. I've watched his video on YouTube, all 7.5 minutes of it. And the funny thing is, he hasn't got a lot of history, let's say. This is a young kid, he's 21 years old, but first minute of that video was basically made up about stats and showing him celebrate goals. So it wasn't really 7.5 minutes worth of his best skills, but about 6 minutes worth. But anyway, that's by the by. So a little bit about this kid, Jeremy Doku. He's 21 years old. He has come from Belgium, and he joined Stade Rennes in France in Ligue 1 in 2020. Okay. Now he can play on both wings, either wing, left wing, right wing. He's got an explosive. He's an explosive talent. He's got, I think, great acceleration. I've seen that in some of the videos. Some of the defenders he's waltzed past, they're not slouches. Okay, he's got a pretty good turn of foot. So I tell you what, he'll be one of the fastest players in our team, in our squad, if he joins. Obviously, Kyle Walker might have something to say about that, but I tell you what, it'll be not a yard quicker than Riyad Mahrez. It'll be 2 or 3 yards quicker than Riyad Mahrez. So he's got this great acceleration. He's very quick with his feet. So he's got quick feet. He's from what I've seen anyway, he's not one of these players who just pumps the ball forward and chases it. He controls it. He keeps it reasonably close to his body, but he will knock it, 4 or 5 yards to the side of a defender to give him that chance to use his explosive pace. Now, I'm not going to compare him to someone like Raheem Sterling, because I think the difference I found with Raheem Sterling was he didn't have any tricks. He tried to, I think, far too often rely on his pace and to get past people rather than guile. And I used to say, a couple of 2 or 3 seasons ago, that Foden was better on the left wing than Raheem Sterling, even though Raheem Sterling was faster. Foden used his technique and trickery to get past defenders. He used his dribbling ability to get past defenders, and he was more composed. And once you got past the defenders, he had enough pace to stay past them. Whereas Raheem Sterling, he'd come up across a robust, fast defender, and I think he'd struggle. Wan-Bissaka used to have him in his pocket. So he's a bit. So this Doku's a little bit different from that. So yeah, he's got this great acceleration. He's got fast feet. He looks a very, very good dribbler. He's got some tricks in his box. He's there with a step over. He's got this thing they call the chop. So he will, feign to go one way and then chop across and go the other way. And he does it at pace. He's not doing it from a standing start. He's doing it at pace. He's fooling people, and then he's just running away from them. He's got a little bit of strength about him. He's brushing people aside as well. He's keeping people away. So once he's got past you, you ain't getting it. You ain't getting him back. You ain't catching him. So a lot of good stuff to like about him there. So he's very direct playing style. Now, Pep might coach that out of him, because we're a possession-based team. We don't want to lose the ball. But I think at times, look, we had Leroy Sané. We had Sterling. So we can play with wingers who are going to take a risk. We see, I think we've seen it over the last few years. Players take fewer risks with Pep. Grealish doesn't take as many risks as he would have done at Villa. Mahrez didn't take as many risks as he would have done when he was playing for Leicester. But look, this kid, I want him to look. We want players to take risks. We want to be excited. You want to be getting up at you. See, when Leroy Sané got the ball, I was at my seat when I was watching games at the Etihad. I'm up there, everybody was, because we were so excited to see what he could do. So, we do love a winger. We do love a young, exciting talent who's willing to take people on. Love it, absolutely love it. End product, what's that like? Well, I looked at his numbers last season. He played 29 games in the league. He scored 6 goals. It's not bad, 1 in 5. And I think overall he played 35 games and scored 7 goals, which is exactly 1 goal every 5 games, which is not bad. It's a bit low, I think, for a team like City. Because if you're going to play 35 games, you want to be around 10, 11 goals, even as a winger. Remember, Sterling had a season where he got about 18 goals, and Sané had seasons where he got into double figures as well. So you'd want over 20 goal involvements from any of your wingers if they're playing a decent number of games. And I looked at his games in France, or his stats. When he joined in 2023, that season, he played 30 games, scored 2 goals. The following season, he only played 14 times because I do believe he got injured. He scored 1 goal. And as I said, last season in the league, he played 29 times, scored 6 goals. So he's played a good number of games last season. He scored a good number of goals. I think you can see that obviously improving in stats from the first season where he scored just 2 goals in 30 games to last season where he scored 6 goals in 29 games. So I think that's a bit of an improvement there. Now, let's talk money. Let's talk money about Jeremy Doku. It's been rumoured that Stade Rennes want 50 million quid or 50 million euros for Jeremy Doku. And it's like, hang on, let's step back here. I'm not sure he's worth it. Look, he's still only 21 years old. So yes, he does have potential. But you've got to ask yourself, if City weren't coming in, if it was somebody else, what would his value be? Yes, there is a tax. You got the Premier League tax and you got the Manchester City tax. If this kid was going somewhere, let's say within League 1, okay, how much would it be worth? 20 million euros, 25 million euros. They might try and get 30 million euros out of it, somebody. But 50 million? I think that's pie in the sky for what he's, based upon what he's achieved so far. That is pie in the sky. I think we've got space for a winger. So, on the right at the moment, we've got Bernardo who's playing out wide. Foden can play there. He can play out on the right or the left. Having somebody else who's an out-and-out winger, because I'm not going to consider Bernardo Silva or Phil Foden as out-and-out wingers, not even Jack Grealish. For me, I want a winger with pace so you can get past people and stay past them. So this kid, Jeremy Doku, could play on either side. But honestly, guys, I'm not paying that sort of money. I don't. Well, at the end of the day, it's not our money, but I just can't see the value at 50 million. I'd rather pay 100 million, get the kid from Napoli, Kvaratskhelia. I'd rather do that than pay 50 million for Jeremy Doku. That's a heck of a lot of money. On the other hand, maybe if we're getting Guardiola for 100 million euros, then maybe we can't afford someone like Kvaratskhelia this window. Maybe we have to wait another year for him. But hey, I'm all for getting a new winger. I'm just not so sure that Jeremy Doku at 50 million quid or 50 million euros is the answer to our winger issues. Guys, if you are new to the channel, it would be fantastic if you could subscribe. If you can hit that bell icon, you'll be notified as soon as new videos come out. We'll see you around Blues.